Well, it finally happened. I finally got a sub 9 run after about like 10 days of grinding from March 31st to April 9th, I believe. And this is it. I'm about to show you right now. Overall, I would say this was a pretty good run. Pretty good run overall, I would say. Just a few little mishaps. For example, here, Mario Skip, I get the first pipe jump on the third try. Not that fast, not that fast. I wish I could have done it better. I get in at 29. Sub 9 run, and I don't even hit the first B-hop. That is super embarrassing. A new addition to this run was I started going up here, mainly just for the tier 2 shotguns. They come very handy later on in the run. I checked that block, no grenade launcher. Spoiler alert, I don't get a grenade launcher. I also start coming up here because coming up here, these stops any hordes from spawning on the second set of stairs here. The stairs here are very weird. Their physics are a little weird. They're different for infected and humans. I do get a piranha. As you see, no grenade launcher. Very smooth path to the safe room. Slow stairs. And just like that, I get a, I believe this segment was a 131. Yep. So, not too bad, not too bad. Pretty about around average run. And as you can see, I am 7 seconds ahead of my PB.
Hello!
This is one of the reasons why I love getting the tier 2 and 1-1. It's because of how fast you can down the bots. You don't have to like do the shove thing with the pump actions. A good start of 1-2. Could be a little smoother. Luckily, there's not a lot of commons here, except in the door. A little annoying. And also, there's a very... This is a crazy common hit. Literally touched him. The moment I touched him, he literally got aggravated. A little bit of a slowdown there. 1-2 crescendo skip. You can't really mess this up. You honestly can't. Unless you just miss the jump completely. But I think it's honestly not that strict to get. Not like a frame perfect thing. I do get a little bit of a pause here. I get hit, and then a charger comes out of nowhere. Sag. And then, oh yeah, in the moment here, I thought I got stopped by the common from getting on the stairs. But it was actually the spitball that stopped me. I go into 1-2 with a 138, I believe, because unfortunately get the buggy safe room. If you don't know, if any infected is banging on the door, they will be considered inside, so you won't be able to progress. Very annoying, especially if there's a tank there.
Hello!
And again, I'm trying to go as fast here, very fast for 1-3, trying to reach the early platform cycle. I do hit some B-hops here. And thank God there's no zombies on this platform here. That platform is a big annoyance because usually there's a whole bunch of commons just waiting there. But I was lucky. Not even one common here. And for the first time, I believe, in any of my attempts here, or my world record attempts, I do get early cycle. If you don't know, those platforms move back and forth in a 10-second cycle, so the earliest cycle you can get is 10. Is 40. The earliest cycle you can get is 40. Was also, unfortunately, I didn't get any pills or anything. I do get adrenaline. I would have preferred to pop it near the door, but there were a bunch of hordes coming by, so I just popped it early. And thank God I don't have to stop the heal here. I don't think it actually matters because, again, I do forget to down to double tap the bots, so that does affect the final time. I could have got a 4:53, but instead I get a 4:58.
Safe pass.
Very unfortunate. I get an AK too for at the start, so that was
At least I made it.
you know, the spread of the AK is obviously not the best, and not many pills. Still pretty good. This is a pretty good 1-4 with a split of 458, segment 148. But this is when things start to get a little sketchy, because this is starting to look exactly like my 9-1 run. I don't get an adrenaline. I forget to double tap the bots, so I'm, again, 458. But I do have one trick up my sleeve. I finally, 4 records in, I finally came up with a strategy for the finale.
Almost there.
I will have a little bit of a late...
Hey, look out.
I will start the finale a little bit later, because, you know, no adrenaline. Adrenaline is good for that one because, you know, based on RNG, there could be like a tons of hordes in your way. You could get hit and get slowed down. And obviously, adrenaline negates that. So the first thing I do for the first wave is I like to use the 2 pipe bombs by this turret here.
Pipe bomb. Pipe bomb.
Then, after that, I grab a Molotov and I back into this corner here to the left of the turret, to the right of the elevator. Move into this corner and I throw a Molotov. The reason I do this is because this finale has a ton of entry points for the commons. And obviously, you want to narrow those pathways down so that way you can kill as many commons as possible. Getting in that corner, there's no entry points above it or anything. It's close to all the supplies, so it's a good place to just hold out.
Reloading.
So now it's tank time. So I grab an AK and I go into this middlemost area here. So that way, if a tank spawns on either side of the map, I can immediately go to them. Luckily, I do get this tank spawns right beside us, so that is a 7-second tank kill.
Reloading.
I'm feeling a little confident, so I deploy my explosive ammo.
Deploying frag round.
Obviously, finales are based on how fast you can kill a majority of the commons and tanks. Explosive ammo is perfect for that, especially with the splash damage. Splash damage and the bots. The bots come in clutch here. I believe there's a Taz of left from Mario. I believe the Taz was about... its finale was 5 whole minutes, and that's because it didn't have bots. The bots are essential for this run.
Fire coming.
So again, I use the last Molotov here. And just to note to you, I do not look at the timer this whole time. I was a little upset coming into the finale, so I just did not bother to look at the timer whatsoever. I get 2 scares here. A jockey comes up above me and then charger charges. It's no big deal because, you know, you can get flung into that pit big time now. But again, the second tank spawns right beside us. Immediately after the tank, I look at my timer and I start to panic because this is it. I down the bots. Yeah, that's it. RTA 856, LRT 855, and funny bot death.